Save the workplace gossip for happy hour, where what you say isn't captured as data for the whole world to see.
KFOX 14 social media anchor Kellyanne Biley tells us how to keep your social media accounts from getting you fired. It's tonight's KFOX 14 special assignment.
Social media use has risen, and so has its abuse among employees. More than 70% of businesses say they've had to take disciplinary action against employees for misusing social media. That's according to Proskauer Rose, an international law firm based in New York City. Betsy Castro Duarte is director of UTEP's Career Center.
Everybody talks about be careful with social media, be careful, but I don't think we've gone too much into detail in terms of what that means.
Castro Duarte says people today have lost sight of that old line between work and personal life, and that's problematic.
We've known instances where, folks have lost jobs because they're friending someone who has a bad criminal record.
These days, our friends and family are just as likely to talk about their jobs when online as they are children and spouses.
I say is keep your personal life personal and keep your professional, your work life separately. Month from now, 2 months from now, you may become my supervisor, or vice versa. I could become your supervisor.
Castro Duarte says at that moment, you open yourself up to a different kind of disciplinary action, one that deals with fraternization, whether it's a romantic relationship or just a strong friendship. And don't think that you can outsmart Facebook by using a fake name.
Facebook has algorithms that will go, and regardless of whether you set up a fake account and then a real account, it'll link it. So, as much as, we want to kind of trick the system, there's built-in technology to kind of, they'll know who your friends are. They'll pull those two profiles together.
You should also know your company's social media policy. You can go to your human resources department and ask your manager if your employer has any written social media guidelines.
We all have a bad day, and so you might be out there and you might just go off on someone or something that just sets you off. And so does that really reflect who you really are? Does the language you use reflect who you are? If you're having a bad day, think about it, talk to somebody else, talk to yourself about it before you actually just go on social media and start, ranting about what an awful boss you have.
So make sure you aren't posting negative comments about your boss or your coworkers. You may not realize that you can be held responsible for your social media outside of the workplace, and misuse puts companies at risk. Let's take a look at it from the company's perspective. 64% are concerned you'll post negative comments about the business or employees. 80% of employers say they're worried you'll post confidential information about the company. But perhaps the biggest concern, social media is wasting company time.
How much time do you spend on social media every day?
Like about 3 hours.
3 hours? You sure that's it?
More, a little bit more.
About 3 to 4 hours.
Around 2 to 3 hours, I think so.
I would spend about maybe 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night.
For about 4 hours.
4 to 5 hours? Say about an hour.
1/3 of the U.S. workforce uses social media for at least an hour every day, according to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation. On average, a single wasted hour each day costs a company $10,375 per person each year. A company that has more than 1,000 employees is then looking at a cost that can exceed $10 million per year. The bottom line, time is money. So before you post, ask yourself, what would my boss think? Kellyanne Biley, KFOX 14, News at 9.